I've always loved camping alone, finding solace in the wild, but one weekend, I ventured deep into the woods for an adventure that would forever haunt my nightmares. It was a crisp Saturday morning when I packed up my gear and set out into the dense forest. The sunlight filtered through the leaves, creating a dappled carpet on the forest floor. My excitement was palpable, and I couldn't wait to disconnect from the hustle and bustle of everyday life. During my hike, I stumbled upon a peculiar mushroom, unlike any I'd ever seen. It was a deep, inky black with white speckles. My curiosity got the better of me, and I decided to take a tiny piece and taste it. It had a strange, earthy flavor that lingered on my tongue. At first, I thought nothing of it and continued on my way. As the day waned and the sun began its descent, a sense of unease began to creep over me. The woods that had once felt welcoming now seemed to be closing in. It started with subtle, hushed whispers in the wind, as if the very trees were gossiping about me. I brushed it off as the product of an overactive imagination. The real horror began as night fell. The forest transformed into a nightmarish realm. Shadows danced eerily around me, and I couldn't shake the feeling that something was following me. I'd shine my flashlight into the inky darkness, but nothing was ever there. It was as if the woods were playing tricks on me. I decided to set up camp and build a fire, hoping it would dispel the eerie feelings I was experiencing. But the fire only added to the strangeness of it all. The flames flickered with a malevolent energy, casting grotesque, elongated shadows that seemed to twist and writhe in a sinister dance. I began to hear voices, soft and almost unintelligible, but they carried an undeniable sense of malice. They whispered things I couldn't understand, their words dripping with malevolence. It was as if the very forest was mocking me. And then I saw them, or at least I thought I did, creatures that defied any logical explanation. They moved just beyond the edge of my vision, grotesque shapes that slithered through the underbrush. They had no distinct form, just a grotesque mass of limbs and eyes. I tried to run, but my feet felt rooted to the ground, as if the forest itself held me in place. The night dragged on in a horrifying blur. Every rustle of leaves, every whisper, and every flicker of shadow filled me with dread, wondering if the mushroom had sent me into a hallucinatory nightmare from which I might never escape. As the first light of dawn broke through the canopy, the forest gradually returned to its normal state. The whispers and shadows receded, and the grotesque creatures vanished into thin air. I packed up my camp as quickly as I could and stumbled out of those cursed woods. To this day, I can't explain what happened that night. Whether it was the mushroom or some malevolent force that dwelled in those deep woods, I will never know. All I'm sure of is that I'll never venture into the wilderness alone again, for fear of what might lurk just beyond the edge of reality.
Subscribe for more videos.